Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome to the yearly favorites video. This is one of my favorite videos that I film every year. Today we will obviously be talking about my favorites from 2024, and I do have 24 favorites for 2024. I try to do the number of the year, so we shall go ahead and dive right on in. First one is one that I can't really show you guys, but it is the noise cancellation feature on iPhone. This is a feature I really never used until this year. And I think a big reason for that is because last Christmas I was given some AirPods and I've never had those before, so I'm very grateful to have those. And I want to say I've had headphones in the past that do noise cancellation, but I don't know that they've ever done it as well as my AirPods do. These are my AirPods. I honestly couldn't even tell you which ones they are. I'm so out of the loop when it comes to AirPods. I think they're the Pro Maxes if I'm not mistaken. I think that's what these ones are. But yeah, big fan of these. Also just bought this case from Meyer, I think a couple weeks ago, and it comes with this carabiner, which anyone who knows me knows I love carabiners. The noise cancellation feature is so nice. If I am literally like anywhere that I am like overstimulated, I don't need to be talking to anyone, I will pop these in and just turn on noise cancellation. You can turn on other like sound noises as well. My favorite one to like read or write to is the ocean sound, but if you just want noise cancellation, it works so well. I cannot recommend more. My second fave from 2024 is this aloe vera gel. I have mentioned it many times in a couple videos that I posted last year, but I got one of the worst sunburns I've ever experienced ever in my life. After doing a lot of research because I wanted it to heal, I picked up an aloe vera gel that has lidocaine in it, and I cannot recommend it more. This is literally Equate, which is just, I think, the Walmart brand. Really not that expensive, but it works so well. Honestly, I knew my burn was bad because when I applied this, like at least for the first 2 days, it would like start tingling, and I like Googled it and I was like, should I be concerned if my body is tingling after I apply aloe vera? And it said that that's just how deep the burn was, and so it's just working into the skin, and I was like, I'm so glad I got this. So yes, cannot recommend picking up an aloe vera gel, specifically with lidocaine. If you haven't tried it before, it's so good. Along that same realm, my third thing that I have to recommend y'all is this Banana Boat Moisturizing After Sun Lotion. It also has aloe vera in it. Obviously, with that same sunburn, I was looking up just literally anything I could do at home to help it heal as best as it could. So after taking cold showers, I would moisturize my whole body with this, and then throughout the day, apply this. The two of these together absolutely helped my sunburn heal as fast as possible, and I cannot recommend them more. My fourth favorite I have to share with y'all is this EOS body lotion in vanilla cashmere specifically. They have a couple other scents. My roommate just got another scent. I think it's like pink champagne or something. I'll insert a photo. That one also smells really good, but this one I used up an entire bottle, and my roommate has this hack where you cut the bottle so that you can still use the remaining lotion all around the sides of the container, and that helps the lotion stretch so much further. And I'm so glad I did that, so I will be doing that with this again. That's my only gripe with this product, is just the packaging. I think it's really cute, and I think it's very distinguishable in the lotion aisle, but practicality wise, you will miss out on a lot of lotion if you don't like cut open into it. So if you pick it up, I definitely recommend doing that because it will stretch out the lotion so much farther. But yeah, I just picked up a new one for this year. I cannot wait to start using it. My fifth fave for y'all is strapless shirts and swimsuits. So this is obviously hanging up on a hanger right now, but it is strapless. I picked up this shirt off of Amazon last year. It's technically from like a yoga brand. I don't think I would ever do yoga in a strapless top for very obvious reasons, but I do really love the quality of this shirt and cannot recommend it more. I'll definitely link this below. I definitely want to pick up another one or two in different colors because I love how strapless things look on me. I never thought I would, but with being in a wedding last summer, I didn't want to get any weird tan lines, and so I had to finally buy a strapless swimsuit, and then I wanted to buy a strapless top to wear around like during the summer. And I have absolutely fallen in love. It's made me now like look into other things. I even bought strapless dresses to wear to the bridal shower and bachelorette that I went to last summer. And with all the weddings and events that I have coming up this year, I think I'll keep looking at thrift stores for more strapless dresses because it's just not a cut that I normally go for. And like this whole past year of wearing them completely changed my mind on how I look in them, and I cannot recommend more. So if you haven't tried something strapless in a while, definitely recommend. This was one of my favorite things that I purchased last year. The next favorite I have for y'all is a Laboring Hands hand cream. I know there is a name brand for this. I just picked up the CVS store brand. I haven't tried the name brand one, but I feel like it works just as well. I've never even heard of this until my roommate suggested it to me. Because of my workplace, my hands get very dry and cracked. Point that they even start bleeding and it's really painful. So she was like, you need to pick up some Laboring Hands like hand cream. And I was like, okay, I've never even heard of that, but let me try. Absolute game changer. I'm someone who's always struggled with really dry skin just all over my body. And so before this, I was still putting like regular lotion, even Aquaphor on my hands to help them heal, but it just wasn't cutting it. And on top of that, working after just applying those products would always leave my hands very greasy, and I have to use my hands for everything at my workplace. So I feel like this hand cream does a good job at healing your hands, but also when you need to apply it at work, it really works well at soaking in quickly and not leaving your hands feeling greasy so you can like get back to work. So yes, definitely recommend picking up this especially with winter, if you're also struggling with dry, cracked hands, definitely try this. All right, y'all, my next fave from 2024 is prescription sunglasses. They're honestly not even anything super fancy. I think this was one of the cheapest pairs that I could buy from like the Target eye center place when I needed to buy a new pair of glasses. I have been wanting prescription sunglasses for so long because I come from a family where we do a lot of road trips, and so that is my typical mode of transportation when I need to get from one point to another point in the country. I just drive it. And so for long road trips when the sun is just glaring in your eyes, these have been so life-changing, I'm telling you. And they're super cute. Like, I am obsessed with the color brown and I love the shape of them. And again, they weren't even like anything expensive. Honestly, they're not even the best quality of sunglasses if I'm being honest, but they get the job done. I literally just wear them for long road trips in the car. I could not be happier and more grateful to myself for picking these up finally this year, or last year, I should say. Okay, my 8th favorite, I will insert a photo. It is a book. It's called The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. The author is V.E. Schwab. I'm hoping I'm saying that right. This book I read earlier on in 2024, and it was a book that I thought about for months after reading it. I was absolutely obsessed with the book. I believe I was borrowing it from the library, but I definitely want to buy it at some point to add to my personal collection. It was also one of the longest books I think I read last year. I'm checking my Goodreads account to see if I left a review on it real quick. I did. I finished it on July 5th. I gave it 5 stars and I wrote, one of the best books I've read this year, dying to reread again already. Related to the 2 main characters so much. This was a hefty read for me, but it was so worth it. Yeah, I don't want to like spoil it for anyone. And honestly, it's been a good amount of months now since I've read it, so I know I've forgotten some details already. But I remember being completely consumed by the storyline, the plot line, the way it was written. I was obsessed with that book for so long. I can't remember the last time I've read a book that's made me, this is gonna sound bad, but like think in a way. Like, I read also non-fiction books. I don't just read fiction books, but for a fiction book, like I feel like a lot of the ones I read have very typical storylines, tropes, that kind of gist, you know? And this one I feel like introduced me to so many new unexpected things that could come from a book, and I really enjoyed it. So don't know that I will reread it again this year necessarily, but if and when I finally add that book to my collection, I think I have to reread it because it was so good. Okay, y'all, my 9th fave from this year is this running vest that I picked up from Amazon. I'll also insert some photos of me wearing it to the last 5K that I did back on Thanksgiving. In last year's favorite video, I was talking about a running belt and how I really would like to see if I would like a running vest. Because the running belt I bought, it was good for the time being and it worked. It didn't work well. And so I really wanted to get a running vest. And can I just say, I'm absolutely obsessed. I just love that it is on my person and I don't have to adjust it. Like, you put it on, you put whatever you need in the pockets. It even has a pouch in the back. The company sells water pouches if you want to buy one, which I might be doing this year. Stay tuned on that, especially since I want to do my first 10K this year. I signed up for my first one. It's going to be in September. I might go ahead and buy a water pouch to go into the back of this. But yeah, just super obsessed with this. I feel like this is the perfect solution that I wanted out of the running belt. I don't know that I will be needing to look for another solution after this. I feel like I'm really set with this until it gets too much use or something and I need to buy a new one. But I got it off of Amazon. I will also definitely link this below. I think they sell other colors too, but I liked this one because I feel like it was neutral enough. And I always love when they have highlighter reflective strips as well. So I feel like I got everything that I wanted out of this vest. But yes, cannot recommend more if you're getting into running. A running belt might be for you. Maybe that's all you require. Or even like, I know some people just wear like a cuff so they can put their phone on them. But I just find that I have a lot of stuff on me. So I like that it's all easily accessible as I'm running as well. I think that's also a really good thing about a running vest. I'm not like fidgeting with it. It's just all right in front of me. So yeah, cannot recommend this more. My 10th favorite from this year is none other than the Wicked movie / soundtrack. As some of y'all may know, a movie that I was obsessed with, I think I talked about it in last year's favorite video, but a movie I was obsessed with for like the longest time was the live action Little Mermaid. It was, at that point in time, the movie I've seen the most in theaters. I saw that one 3 times. And when Wicked, the movie, came out, I was very excited. I mean, wildly excited. I was obsessed with Wicked in high school. I had the book. And for my high school graduation gift, my mom and I got to see it on Broadway. And then I also had merch from Broadway. Like, I was obsessed with Wicked, especially in high school. To the point that when it came time to decorating my high school graduation cap, I had such an internal struggle with deciding if I should go the Disney route or the Wicked route. I ended up going with the Disney route, but I was this close to making a Wicked themed grad cap. All that being said, when the movie came out in 2024, I was obviously very excited with my background of how much I love Wicked, but did I anticipate to love it as much as I do? I did not. I also saw that movie 3 times in theaters. I'm not even going to lie to y'all. The first time I saw it in theaters, I was sobbing the entire time. I felt like they did such a great job. I know it's literally only part 1 and part 2 is coming out this year. I'm so excited to see part 2. But part 1, genuinely, it brought me back to high school me, and I fell in love. And I know a lot of people fell in love with it, so I'm not like unique in any way for mentioning this in a favorites video, but it brought me back to high school me and seeing it on Broadway. Like, when I saw it on Broadway, my mom and I were literally sitting in the last row in the whole theater. We were literally touching the back wall. And to this day, it's probably the best musical I've ever seen. And I've been blessed to see quite a couple on Broadway. So when I saw it in theaters, they did such a phenomenal job. From the sets to the choreography to the singing to the acting. It felt like I was back watching it on Broadway in a way. Like, it felt just magical, I guess, which sounds crazy. It's literally just a musical movie, but like, for people who had a prior love for Wicked, I feel like they will understand what I'm talking about. So yes, absolutely obsessed. I still have been listening to the Wicked soundtrack. Anytime I pull up the on repeat playlist that Spotify makes for you, Wicked has yet to leave that weekly on repeat playlist. So yeah, both the movie and the soundtrack, I'm absolutely obsessed with the whole thing. My next favorite from 2024 is the Delirium book series. They are from Lauren Oliver. I was gifted a bunch of books from one of my dear friends, James. And with getting into reading again last year, I've been trying to get to these books. And so this is one that I read and I became absolutely obsessed. Anyone who knows me knows I love a dystopian YA novel. Like, those are my jam. And the fact that I didn't know these existed in high school, I feel like high school version of me was robbed. I can't believe, with all of the dystopian books I loved in high school, I never once discovered these, or no one recommended them to me, or never heard of them or anything. Finished this book and immediately started reading the other books. And after I finished what I thought was just a trilogy, it turns out they have so many more like in between books in between the trilogy. I cannot express to you how much this book series impacted my 2024 experience. These are other books that I really want to complete and buy in the collection to add to my collection. So I do have the first one. The other ones I just checked out from the library, but was absolutely obsessed. Let me read you my Goodread reviews on them real quick. I finished this one on July 24th. I gave it 5 stars, obviously. I wrote in all caps, loved this book. As someone who grew up loving and rereading dystopian series, I cannot believe I haven't heard of this one before. One of my friends gave it to me and I have already placed a hold at the library for the next book in the trilogy. Absolutely obsessed and dying to continue reading the series. And then for the second one, which is called Pandemonium, I finished that one on August 16th and obviously gave it 5 stars. I wrote, I loved the first book in this series, so no shocker here, loved the second one as well. I'm immediately placing a hold on the third one as soon as I'm done writing this review. I still can't believe I didn't hear about this series while I was in high school, absolutely obsessed. And then for the third book, which is called Requiem, I do have just the tiniest little spoiler in there, so if you want to not have that spoiled for you, just skip ahead a little bit. But I finished the third one on September 3rd. I gave it also 5 stars. I wrote, loved this book, absolutely obsessed with this trilogy, and just learned there's more books to go of the series. My only complaint is I wish we had 1 to 2 chapters of the aftermath of it all. Just a quick rundown on where everyone is / up to now, but still loved this whole series so much. So yeah, I can't remember how many other books there are. Yeah, there's like other ones that are based on just like specific characters. So I want to say there's at least 4 other books, which I am dying to read. I think I definitely want to prioritize reading those this year. I don't know that I'll necessarily get to buy them this year, but I definitely want to check them out from the library and make sure I get that done. All that being said, if you've never heard of this series and you also love a good dystopian YA type novel, this one is so good. The dystopian factor for this series is that the government views love as like an infection. And so when you're of a certain age, you'd go under this procedure to get rid of essentially that part of your brain mechanism so that you can't have those emotions. So it creates a society that's very mundane, very dull, very against any type of love and feelings in that kind of way. And I'm just so obsessed with it. Oh my gosh, it makes me, talking about this series makes me want to reread it again. And I know I have 4 more books in the series to read, but it makes me want to reread the trilogy again. Anyway, cannot recommend this more. Definitely give it a try. Alrighty, y'all. My 12th favorite from 2024 is the Tarte Hydrating Primer. I got a sample size of it. I don't know if I got the sample in 2024. I used it up entirely in 2024 because I became obsessed. Again, just as someone who struggles with dry skin. My face definitely has dry, dehydrated skin. This primer has been a game changer. I'm normally a drugstore girly through and through, so when I fell in love with this, I was like, crap, now I have to buy a full-size one because I have, again, so many events that I'm going to in 2025 that I know I'm going to be wanting this. It goes over my CeraVe moisturizer, which I conveniently have right here, so well. The combo of this works so well for my skin type, and I just find that my makeup application goes on so much smoother and lasts so much longer when I use, especially the combination of both. I've loved CeraVe for so long. I've talked about it a lot on my channel, but the Tarte Hydrating Primer specifically has been game changing for my makeup game, just game changing. My next fave for 2024 is actually a hobby. I put down just crafts. I did a lot of crafting in 2024 and it was so much fun. The examples I brought out to show y'all are all painting examples. I had some friends over for a craft night. We painted some rocks. I did in fact make Larry the Cucumber and Bob the Tomato. I'm not gonna lie, I feel like I killed it. I feel like I killed it. So that was a lot of fun. We also got to paint some shells while we painted rocks, and I did this little flower. And then those same friends, we had another craft night at someone else's house, and I painted a bunch of watercolor bookmarks. I did this jellyfish one. I think that one's my absolute favorite that I did. But I also did a lot of scrapbooking, and then I also made clay magnets. Ooh, let me go get some real quick off the fridge. My roommate and then our mutual bestie and I this past summer all did some clay magnets and they turned out so cute. Let me go grab some. These are probably my 2 favorites that I made. I made a cola can. I thought she turned out so cute. I'm absolutely obsessed. And then I made like a little love letter, like that one emoji. First of all, it's my favorite emoji. But secondly, I love Sabrina Carpenter, and anytime I see this emoji, symbol, what have you, it reminds me of her. But yes, I don't know what it is about the crafts this past year, but I just really enjoyed a little craft moment. I felt like I've always enjoyed crafts anyway, but I feel like since I haven't been at camp in a long time, I haven't had a reason to like just do crafts. Like I'll do coloring once in a while, or now make friendship bracelets once in a while. But like crafts with different materials are so much fun, and they're just like little homemade trinkets is what I like to call them. And now like these cute little things get to decorate my fridge, you know? It's like, it's just so much fun. So yeah, definitely got into crafting in 2024. It was so much fun. My next favorite for 2024 are these carabiner earrings. I feel like they're just a fun, fresh take on your classic hoop earring. For one thing, again, as anyone who knows me knows, I love carabiners. And that's just how I've been since high school. Like ever since I started working and volunteering at like camps and outdoor ministry things, I have a love for carabiners. I collect them. And so when I found these, my roommate and I found them at Claire's. They're not even like any high quality earring, honestly, but we found them at Claire's. I became absolutely obsessed. So anytime I have to dress up for anything, or I want to like feel a little extra, I will put these on, and I just think they're so cute. I just feel like they're a fun, fresh take on your classic hoop. And honestly, they still kind of look like hoops unless someone comes up super close and they're like, are those carabiners? And I'm like, yes, they are. Yeah, it's really hard to find cute carabiner earrings. I feel like that's my only gripe with these. Honestly, my roommate and I, we went back to Claire's a couple months after to see if I could find another pair because I lost one for the longest time. And they don't sell them anymore. At least they didn't at the time. And so I've tried looking up other ones online, like even Amazon. Like it doesn't have to be like a crazy like good quality one. I just love the shape of them, and so many carabiner type earrings just aren't as cute. So if your Claire sells these and you're interested in getting carabiner earrings, I definitely recommend picking them up because I have yet to find them again, so I now keep a very close eye on where I place these so I don't lose them again. And I feel like they're just a little nod to who I am and all of my camp experience that I have and my love for the outdoors in a way. I don't know, I just feel like it feels right. It's part of my personality. I love it. My next favorite is this Batiste Dark Hair Dry Shampoo. With getting my chop of a haircut, if you will, and with wearing it down more often, I have been in need of dry shampoo. However, I've never really had a dry shampoo that I've liked. Most, I feel like, do not work for me. I feel like they don't do what they are supposed to do. And then if they sort of work for me, I feel like they always leave white cast or white specks in my hair, or they smell weird. And I've just never found one that I liked. And so while I was venting to my roommate about it, she recommended that I try Batiste. She told me that they have ones for dark hair specifically. And so I just bought like a tiny one just to like try it, just to see if I liked it. And I used it up, I think, within a month or two, which is crazy. Going, as someone who never uses dry shampoo, going from never using it to using up like a whole thing, granted it was a small one, but a whole thing of it within like a month or two was mind-boggling. I was floored. I was like, Liz, I love it so much. Thank you so much for recommending me this. So of course I had to pick up a full-size one, and I feel like I'm already halfway done with this one as well. But yes, cannot recommend more if you're someone who has those similar complaints when it comes to dry shampoo. Try the Batiste one if you haven't. I was really skeptical about it at first because I felt like I've seen a lot of this brand and I didn't know if people were gassing it up or if it genuinely worked. As someone who is not good with hair, I can say this genuinely worked for me. I cannot recommend this more. For my 16th one, I will just insert some photos of it as I talk about it because it's kind of like an activity in a way. I included a bunch of activities and hobbies, kind of like things that are kind of like show and tell what we're doing right now. But my 16th one is just spontaneous beach trips. I did so many beach trips this past summer, and I am dying to do them again this coming summer. I am blessed enough to live close enough to Lake Michigan, and especially someone who spent many years of her life in Jersey and grew up going to the shore. I'm very blessed to have such a major lake that gives as close as an effect as going to the shore does. So this past summer, I just made it a priority. I was like, any chance I can, even if it's just for a few hours, I am going to the beach. And I just ate it up. Like, I made so many plans to go with people, whether it was for a half day or for like a whole day. And then I just made time to just do it by myself. I would be running out of work and I'd have my beach bag all packed in my car ready to go. I would change there. And just even if it was just like for 3 or 4 hours, I would just spend time at the beach. I cannot recommend taking advantage of your local nature outdoors when you can, as much as you can, because now it's winter and now it's like obviously a lot harder to enjoy the outdoors. Not that I don't still enjoy the outdoors even in winter, but you gotta take advantage of it while you can. I cannot recommend spontaneous little trips in nature. It's so life-fulfilling and so life-giving. Again, I feel like it just really helps me connect like to my inner child and just the things that I'm passionate about and enjoy. But yeah, definitely want to do more spontaneous beach trips in 2025. I am dying to do them. My 17th favorite, I will insert photos again. It is just the Shed Aquarium as a whole, if I'm being honest. I had to go with Liz and Shelby, and we had so much fun. I have never been to the Shed Aquarium. Honestly, I feel like I've been to an aquarium once or twice growing up, but like it wasn't like a thing I did regularly. Definitely went to a lot more zoos than aquariums growing up. And I loved it. I absolutely ate it up. I would love to go again for sure. Just getting to see all the different types of fish and sea creatures, water life, what have you, was so cute. And it was just such a wholesome day in the city for us. And it was so much fun. If you've never been and you've been interested in going to the Shed, I cannot recommend it more. It was so much fun. Alrighty, y'all. Another fashion thing that I got into for 2024 is just cami tank tops, which is nothing revolutionary, nothing crazy. We've all heard of them. I used to wear cami tank tops all the time, especially like in middle school / high school, just like under things. So I feel like I'm having like a little bit of a full circle moment. I will insert some photos of me wearing them to kind of explain / show how I was styling them, if you will. But there's something about it. There's something so freeing of just throwing on a cami and a pair of shorts and just calling it a day. I don't know, I thrifted 2 camis in 2024, this one and another one, just like spaghetti strap camisoles. And I'm like, why did I stop wearing these? I'm like, low-key, this is like a staple in my closet now, and I ate it up. I loved it. I feel like it really added a lot to my wardrobe in 2024, so I'm very excited to keep wearing these in 2025 and also keep thrifting for them. Feel like I'm gonna be really on the hunt this year to find some more in some different colors. And my 19th fave are these Kiss Impress lash clusters that you just press on. They already have the adhesive on them. I have been a strip lash girly for like super nice events, I think since high school. I started off with like the basic ones that just have like the white lash glue that dries clear, and I always really struggled with those, so then I moved on to a magnetic version of that. Loved that for a long time, and then last year I just wasn't feeling it anymore. I was like, normally I like the look of like a full lash strip. I feel like I feel more bougie. I feel like I'm more put together. I feel like I put more effort into it. But when I tried it this past year, it was so wildly not me anymore that I was just like, I need to find a different solution specifically for the wedding that I was a part of. And I have heard my favorite YouTubers talk about these for so long, and I've just never tried them until this past year. And I cannot say more good things about this. The way that you can just apply 1, 2, 3 clusters per lash, however many you want, the adhesive's already on it. They stick so well to your lashes. I put mascara on and then I put those on, just clamp it on a little bit, and they stay all day. They stay all day. Even with tears, because believe me, I was crying. Even with tears, they stayed on all day. I cannot recommend these more. I haven't tried any other brands, but these ones specifically, I cannot recommend these more. My 20th one, I wrote personalized gifts on Etsy. I have been a user of Etsy since I think I was 13. I think I made an Etsy account around the same time that I made a Pinterest account. And not that I've been buying things off Etsy since I was 13, but I've just been like a browser on Etsy at least since I was 13. But I feel like this whole past year, I've really taken advantage of getting personalized gifts on Etsy. I'm trying to remember all the ones I got. Let me look on Etsy real quick. Because first of all, I feel like that's a great way to get a unique gift. I feel like if you know people's interests really well, but you don't want to get them a basic thing in that interest, I feel like Etsy is a good way to switch it up. And then also, I love supporting small businesses, and I feel like Etsy is a good way and a good place to do that at. So yeah, I got one that says "In My Bride Era," which was just like a little glass tumbler coffee mug thing. I picked up some customizable Polaroid ornaments for one of my dear camp friends. I batch ordered a ton of customized shirts for the Bachelorette off Etsy. I got some unique stickers and pins. I just feel like there's a lot of unique things you can find on there. You can also find like vintage clothing on Etsy. So if you're struggling to find good gift ideas, I definitely recommend Etsy if you haven't heard of it or haven't tried it before. I love it. My next favorite from 2024 is my NutriBullet. I have been wanting a NutriBullet for so many years, but with getting into health and fitness more this past year, I finally went ahead and bought one. They have different levels of NutriBullets that you can buy, they have like different power. Is that the word I'm looking for? I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but different ones can process things better than others. I think when I was buying / looking into it, there's like 3 different tiers of NutriBullets that I was looking into. And I think I got the middle tier because I wanted it to be able to blend up things that had seeds with them, like raspberries and stuff, or strawberries. I wanted it to be able to process those without still having strawberry seeds in my smoothies. I'm very glad I went with the middle route. I think definitely pay attention to like all the details of the different NutriBullets because they get pretty specific about like what each one can handle. But I love it so much. I think it's great, especially if you don't own a blender or you are a single person or you're making a smoothie for one person. I feel like this is a really good way to go about it because you throw all the ingredients in here and that's the cup that you're drinking out of, and then you clean this and then it's ready to go again. And it's not like you're making like a whole batch of smoothies. You got to clean like a whole blender. Like, I feel like as someone who struggles to make meals for one person, especially after growing up in a very large family, I feel like this is very helpful in making the right amount of quantity that I would want to make for a smoothie. So cannot recommend this more. I'm so happy that I finally bought one of these. Along that same vein, my next favorite from 2024 is this protein powder. Again, just with getting into health and fitness and doing a lot of research, I wanted to try a protein powder, dip my toes in the water of the protein powder, if you will, because I have no experience with protein powder. But I've tried different protein shakes, I've tried different protein bars, and I know that flavor is a big thing for me, and if I don't like the taste of it, I'm not going to continue to use it. So I kind of did a lot of research actually on the best protein powders, just from health benefit wise, but also just flavor wise, if we're being honest. I knew I wanted one that would just go with any smoothie that I would make, so I picked up a vanilla one. This is a new one that I just bought for this year. I was just doing half scoops of this into my protein smoothies, and that lasted me, I'd say, about 6 months-ish. It's not like I had a protein smoothie every day, but whenever I made a smoothie, I wanted it to be filled with protein. But yeah, it's just from ISO 100. It's a whey protein, and it's in the flavor gourmet vanilla. Can definitely vouch for the flavor of it. It's the only protein powder I've tried, and I liked it, so I picked up another one. So that's all I really have to say about it. I am not a pro when it comes to protein powder. There are so many brands and so many flavors, but I just feel like my research really paid off. I like the flavor of this one, so I feel like I'm just gonna stick with it until I get tired of it. So definitely recommend if you're looking into protein powders. Flavor-wise alone, it tracks. It checks off. The flavor checks off. My 23rd favorite from 2024 is another hobby. It is basketball. I feel like I got into just going to a local hoop near me and just practicing shooting hoops. And again, it was just one of those hobbies that I feel like really connected back to inner me. And I had so much fun doing it. It's something I'm not even really that good at doing, if we're being honest, but it's something that I really enjoy. And yeah, I feel like just doing things, even if it means doing them alone, but doing things that bring you joy and prioritizing that and making time for that. There's just a general overall takeaway that I have from 2024. And so basketball may seem like a silly thing to include, but I really enjoyed it. So I can't recommend. If you haven't gone shooting hoops in a long time, try to find a local park, or if you have a Y membership, I'm sure they have a basketball court. I think I thrifted a basketball and I have it somewhere. I haven't been able to find it. It might be in my car still, if we're being honest. I even thrifted a basketball to get going on that hobby, and it's so much fun. I can't wait for springtime to start doing it again. It's a lot of fun. And then my last favorite from 2024, I wrote niche Spotify playlists. Anyone who knows me knows I am a lover of Spotify, we've been together since I was 14, I think. And honestly, I love any reason, any season, any mood, any vibe to make a playlist to. I just, give me any reason and I love to make a playlist. And anything that is, I'd argue, the more niche of a reason, the more fun of a playlist it is to curate. And something about 2024, I just really popped off with playlists. It's not even that all these playlists necessarily have a lot of songs. They're all kind of works in progress, if you will. I'm slowly adding to them as I find songs that I feel like really resonate with the vibe of that playlist. But they're just so much fun. So I'm going to list off a couple playlists that I have created that just scratch an itch in my brain in the best way that I love so much. The first two that immediately come to mind when I'm talking about my niche Spotify playlists are both Gilmore Girls related. I have one called Stars Hollow, which is an absolute vibe. I was listening to that playlist all summer long. I was driving around my little small town with my windows down, playing my Stars Hollow playlist, and the romanticizing of my life, the main character energy of my life in those days of playing that playlist and just driving around with the windows down and the weather was so nice. It was chef's kiss. I cannot again wait for summer to come around so that I can feel that kind of vibe again. But also, Gilmore Girls is a 4 seasons type of show, so honestly, anytime I want to feel that vibe, I will throw on this playlist. But if I want Gilmore Girls vibe specifically for winter, because Gilmore Girls, yes, reminds me of fall as it does for most people, but for me, it is a genuine, true comfort show. And it has been since I was 13. This show reminds me of my favorite season, which is winter. To me, it's very comforting. It's very cozy. I made a more winter-themed version of a Gilmore Girls playlist, if you will. And that one is called I Smell Snow. I love this playlist so much as someone who is a lover of winter, a lover of snow, someone who can also smell snow, especially when it's coming. Even if I didn't check the weather, I'll just step outside and I'll just smell the very crisp air and I'll be like, ooh, it smells like snow's coming tonight. This playlist brings me so much joy. Anytime that I'm driving around in the snow, I love throwing on this playlist. Speed running some other niche Spotify playlists for y'all real quick. Lie Down, You're Safe Here, Anguish Autumn, POV Situationships, Currently Kicking My Feet Throwing Up, Disassociating in the Midwest, Rot Revival, BRB Self-Care Moment, and Granola Girls Get It. I just feel like those are some prime examples of some niche Spotify playlists that I have. I have so many more, but we will be here all day talking about Spotify playlists if I mention any more because my love for Spotify is just so large. I love it so much. But yeah, those are my 24 favorites from 2024. I hope you guys enjoyed getting to watch and listen to me talk about all of that for so long. I can't believe I've been filming for as long as I've been filming. But yeah, I'm so excited to see the new things that I will love in 2025. Believe it or not, I have already started that list, which is crazy because it's still January, but your girl is already on that list making grind. So stay tuned for next year when I'll wrap up 2025. But anyway, as always, I hope you guys are having a good day, and if you're not, that's okay too. I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye! Guess who forgot to film a thumbnail again? Me! Y'all, I can't believe it's 2025 if we're being real though. This is like my second or third one of these that I filmed. That's crazy. Anyway, hope y'all are having a good one.